our biggest thing is to keep pushing land. You get municipalities that designate land for affordable housing. And we believe that would help with real community development for long-term communities to be stabilized.
Because land value is high, and by getting donations...
Yeah, but if the land I feel in El Salvador feels like the land in Bronxville, like the land in Yonkers, it's all feels the same. It's the value of what we do with it. So we also will build condominiums and co-ops in our future. We have some plans for that, and we're going to shop that around, and this is our 20th anniversary, which is exciting. So families get an interest-free mortgage, no down payment. We work with...
Go back on that. How does somebody apply?
So they'll send a letter of interest to our office.
And how do they qualify?
And so it'll say, I'm a family of 4, this is my income level, I really want a house, I'm living in substandard housing. You go upon need, substandard housing, and their ability to do the sweat equity. Habitat typically, in most of the country, will take families who are, like I said, substandard housing, and 50% below the HUD medium income level. The problem with Westchester is that even the next level has a hard time getting a home because the cost of homes, though now with the mortgage crisis, you're seeing more foreclosures, and hopefully that'll free up some homes.
So it's possible somebody might not qualify based on income, because the income may be too high, but they still might be in substandard.
We go with that conventional mortgage, where the low-income family, low to medium-income family can't get the conventional mortgage. That's where Habitat comes in, because we believe with the biblical principle that everyone should have a home, and that we shouldn't charge usury to our brothers and sisters in the book of Exodus, and so it's 0% interest, and the family's down payment in a way is their sweat equity. They have to put in building their own home until it's finished, and work on helping themselves. And they can bring their church group, they can bring their family members, but they have to work on building the house with volunteers, which inspires the volunteers to realize these are great people, that you're going to change their life forever by helping this family have a home. And it motivates us all to contribute more, both in terms of time and dollars, to help end poverty and create that bank of wealth. I'm a wealth builder. I'm like you, Frank. I'm an investment builder. I want our families to have wealth. I want to end poverty. A lot of the programs we've created have not, billions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars have never lifted some people out of poverty.
Right.
When someone owns that first home, they're creating that bank. It doesn't mean we wipe away all their problems, but they're creating that educational, safety environment, the warm, secure room, the ability for the family to have shelter, and to be community taxpayers. Our families pay taxes, and to stabilize the community.
Is there a job creation program that works hand in hand with this? What about a family
who's of our families
not
have jobs.
Fully employed?
Most of our families have jobs, and we can't fill all the needs of housing for people, but we're not a job program. Our main mission for Habitat, though I see more and more I see ourselves as a community development agency, or if a family loses a job, needless to say, we'll be trying to help them get a job so they can pay their mortgage. But our main mission is to build simple, decent homes for families, most who are working, but they're the working families who can't afford that mortgage.
So they have an interest-free mortgage.
Right.
And are the
highest part of a mortgage payment in Westchester is the taxes.
Right.
Remember, so we are the bank, so they pay. I raise the money up front usually, or get construction loans. They'll or someone will donate plumbing, or donate a house full of windows, and I call it house raising instead of fundraising, so that helps us save dollars. And the other thing is that the family, because we're the bank, they can pay that mortgage back to us 20 years or 30 years.
So they don't need to pay principal for a 20-year period of time, or they pay.
They pay no.
So they only pay then basically real estate taxes.
Oh no, they do pay They pay the cost of what it costs us to build the home.
Right.
Plus the real estate taxes, but no interest.
Okay. Let's say it costs
$100,000.
$150,000
So we'd
to buy
give
a
them
home.
a $150,000 mortgage.
Okay.
They'd have to pay the taxes. That would average about $100, or probably $1,200 a month for 20 years, 25 years.
Okay, so they are paying, they're amortizing that
Yes.
principal on the
Yes.
mortgage.
We say it's a
But not-
helping hand, not a handout.
I see. And so they're paying the taxes and the principal mortgage payment back to you.
Right.
And you're carrying that with no interest.
Right. So.
Okay, and you're able to build this 100 home for 150,000 because some of the materials are being donated, some of the laborers, and most of the
Or a
laborers
corporation might sponsor a house, or we
Okay.
talked about, or a church might sponsor a house.
Okay.
You know, we challenge all those non-governmental agencies to walk the talk. This private investment, this wealth, people can get tax breaks, there's stock donations, there's window donations, there's churches, there's high schools that raise $10,000 a year for us or sponsor whole houses across the country. So you know, we have the wealth of the world in Westchester. There's no reason why somebody shouldn't get a home.
So someone who
or
applies,
or a co-op.
Let's say a family applies, they have 2 children, the Smith family or the Ramirez family or whatever, and they then go out to enlist the help of their friends, neighbors, family members to help them with the sweat equity in building. Do they also do the children go to their friends? Give me some examples of how do the people who are putting in the sweat equity enroll other people in the process, or do they mainly rely on Habitat for that?
Well, usually a community will send the word out that we're building 6 houses. When we'll create a local project committee, that committee actually is meeting this Saturday. We create local teams like advisory boards across the county. So I have a board in Bedford, a board in White Plains, a board in New Rochelle that's forming, a board in Yonkers. And they meet typically a banker, an architect, a high school kid, a faith community leader, a local elected, a local municipal planning person. And they help to find the land, they help to tell more people about the project, they help to get the word out that we're looking for applications for 6 homes in Yonkers. And then someone from that committee will help to go visit the family and be on the family selection committee.
Okay.
So it's really you know, everyone just thinks it's a house and it gets plopped. There's a lot that goes into what we do, into the work of getting one family into the house. And after they get in there, supporting that family. We have a mentoring program, or we'll have Citibank do a mentoring program from Getty Square, get some of their employees be mentors on financial, or someone like you, Frank. How do you invest or save for college now? How do you you know, do things that are going to help your future so that you be able to maintain your house, have utilities, and save for the future for your kids.
What's on your wish list? What are the main challenges and frustrations?
Right, wish list is land, you know, a multi-million-dollar pocket of funds so I will never have to worry about building or continuous supporters, and we have a lot of them. We built 50 homes, we rehabbed 100+ homes for flood victims in Mamaroneck during this horrible flood last year. We also do senior rehabs, Brush with Kindness projects. But to really bring this, our 20th anniversary, to bring it to that 3rd stage where we're a critical builder of affordable housing, to build constantly and significantly in every town and city in this county, 47 of them, so that everyone can have a simple, decent home. That might include condominium buildings, that might include unique type of designs, that'll include green buildings, that might include building condominiums on top of commercial rental spaces, a variety of things. But to think that we can't be creative enough, and it's also, we're big in terms of advocacy, advocating that we're not giving the baby with the bathwater away, that we're not just creating multi-millionaires for a few developers, while no kids that grew up, like your son or daughter, your daughter, Frank, or my kids can't live in New Rochelle and have a dream of owning a home unless they work 4 jobs or in a high-level management position. I mean, we have to get back to the fundamental strength of every community. The people that grew up here and have made this, and the police, the teachers, the firefighters, the average working person, who deserves that right to have the American dream come true. We have to have longevity and extended families and communities, which creates more stable communities, a same sense of history. The average commute is 90 miles for the first home. The Tappan Zee Bridge is falling down because too many cars go over it. Polluting while commuting instead of creating affordable housing on this side of the bridge. That's a significant poor planning process I'm seeing, and it's unintelligent. If you had no heart, the economics of having to replace the Tappan Zee Bridge had we done home ownership for the average working person on this side of the bridge.
Will the creation of more affordable housing, ironically though, create a higher demand for land nearby, and therefore undo some of the benefits of...
We're not against demand for land, but we also believe airspace is part of the future, building up in the air, condos and co-ops.
Right.
You know, so if you do that as a first-time entry-level affordable unit, be it like a Levittown or a GI, where are GI kids going to live when they come back from Iraq? You know,
right.
Military housing has always been a problem. Where are you and I going to live, Frank, as seniors, and how much is it going to cost us? And
right.
can we live in Rochelle if we want, and can we afford it? So land is always at a premium. We're not against the market driving things, but if we can use eminent domain to knock down houses for people to become wealthy, we should also be able to use domain or set aside things for the you know for the working, like the mill.
Right.
Remember the mill factory housing of yesteryear? I come from New England, and a lot of the mills used to build simple, decent workmen's houses.
Right.
So people, you
like Edison did in New Jersey.
Edison in New Jersey, right? Thomas Edison, you and I were talking about, brilliant, wise. Whether he cared about the work or not, he
had
realized
10,000 workers there.
If the 10,000 workers started from a good home, they'd be on time to work. The kids would do better in school. You'd have a brighter community.
Right.
You'd have less drugs, and you'd have less absenteeism in work. I mean, you know, we haven't planned it out right. In the meantime, if we don't have good housing, we pay more taxes for social problems with subsidized food stamps, and subsidized housing, and subsidized extra teachers and counselors and extra after-school programs, because parents always have to work 2 or 3 jobs because they can't be home with their kids. It's really, there's an absurdity if you look at it objectively and step back. So we're just actually getting back to the basics of what the heart and soul of America was about, not subprime mortgage leasing at the fallacy of wealth, of money being offered that with interest that causes foreclosures, but really saying the heart and soul of every community in Westchester, not only Westchester, I believe all over the country and the world, is to create good workman housing. You know, it's another term, workforce housing, for you people that live in your community, so that they'll be able to continue to be here, generate taxes for your community, and we'll have stronger communities in the long run for it. Alrighty?
One final question.
Yes, sir. Never a final question from you. ever.
You know, there's this saying, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Right.
And every time I'm with you, you have so much going on because you're so skilled, bright, talented, and know a lot of people and can get things done, very resourceful.
People are my strength, Frank.
People are your strength. People are, I think, everyone's strength, right? I think God works through people.
Brings us all together for real community.
There must, at the end of the day, when you lay down, be a tug on your time of where to best spend your time. You probably, I could see you in answering the many phone calls that you have and the many people that you have employed in your efforts, and the people that you're touching, the people you motivated today. How are you reconciling or allocating, continuing to allocate your time? You know there's a lot further to go.
Right.
A lot more to do.
Well, I mean, and I said it during my talk during the youth, when I have, what inspires me is if I can create more leaders who are going to do what I do better after I'm long gone, or I need to rest on a vacation or what have you, and I put good, you're only as good as the people that are around you, and I have a lot of good people around me, thank God. But the other thing that inspires me when I do speak to youth is that they're thinking, as you can see today, about the future. And they're understanding that there is a different thing that has to happen at this time. And it's, you know, Westchester's problem is that people live with so much and then they live with so little. And I have CEOs and very successful millionaires who say, take my daughter or son, help them get involved with something. And it's all about meaning. And when I know that I've planted a seed in some youth to take that on and keep going, and that multiplies, just like Habitat started the way, then I can sleep well at night. And unequivocally, God brings people the next day across my path, all of our paths, that help us to continue on, to build that. The Hebrew term, to kumalam, to heal the world, to Jacob's ladder, to continue to make it right.
Right.
Because
and there were several leaders that raised their hand. There were several who didn't but were affected and motivated,
right,
and may make a difference in some other way, some other place.
They were all at our headquarters and walking by. So,
right.
So the future is bright. If something happened to me today, there's plenty of people who would come and do this better. And if I had a part of that, then I'm blessed to know that God has helped me to get someone a home. But the other thing is when I do stop and think, and we do get caught up with a lot of the nitty gritty of did we get the permit, did we get the electricity off. But when I know that at the end of the day that a family is in their home, or that they are cooking in their kitchen for the first time with a backyard that they never had, those are profound things that in this county where affordable housing, we've broken down the Berlin Wall, so we are building in Bedford and in Larchmont and in Rye, not just Yonkers, Mount Vernon, but we are helping it to be the conscience of everybody that everyone should go to bed at night in a simple, decent home. And the more I can raise that consciousness, the more great things will happen. And the more Thomas Edison's will be lifted up.
That's right.
Too, right.
And I can see how the concept of sweat equity applies not only to those new homeowners, but also to the people, and to the people in your organization, putting in the work.
Oh, they put up with a lot. They know they have to be ready to do everything. The generalist model, no one's a specialist, and everyone knows they have to get dirty. Usually I just changed my jeans and had all mud on it before I went out to speak to the kids. And I'm most comfortable with that because I'm always ready to speak and go out to the sites and get inspired that we're a little closer to getting home now. So we've got plenty of helpers, and we need your viewers and your listeners to be able to do that.
Thanks so much, Jim.
Frank, God bless you. Thank you.